Hello and welcome to the United States of America and Deep Creek, Maryland for the International Canoe Federation's 2014 Slalom World Championships. 380 athletes from 42 nations have been battling it out to make it to the finals. It's finals day. We've had a lot of activity in the last 24 hours. Yesterday evening, our time, we had the K1 men's semi-final. And then this morning, a couple of hours ago, we've had spectacular activity. We've had the C1 men and the C1 women. Full of surprises. I'm Matthew Layton, and I'm joined with two paddlers who know all about this course. Nuria Newman from France and Robin Jeffrey from Australia. Good day.
How's it going?
So talk us through the, I think we can see the weather conditions. It's lovely sunshine. It's a little bit warmer than yesterday. In general, we might have to break off if we have the start list, but in general, what do you think of the course?
It's not a big course, but all the hydraulics are really hard, and it can be really tricky to keep the boat in line and fast. So it's really exciting to watch people race here. It's definitely full of surprise and excitement.
And this morning, so the first event, by the way, we're going to cover is the C1 men's final. You see up on your screen the layout of the gates. There's 24 gates with 6 being upstream. As you can see, if it's crossed out, you're not allowed to go through that direction. Green and white's downstream, red and white's upstream. Some challenges on here. And the first event is going to be the C1 men. Who's not in it? Martican's not in it. David Florence is not in it. Gargo Chanou's not in it. And a stack of other athletes that would have hoped and expected to perhaps come forward would be in there. But look, we still have some major contenders to go forward. We're going to be covering them one at a time. And this is the top 10. We'll start with number 1, who is Nuria Newman's training partner. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Thibaut is my training partner. Is probably one of the favorite person in the happy, always easygoing, and I'm really happy to see him in the final. He's been paddling really well this season and didn't have much success in the racing, so to see him in the final here, it's a really big step, and I think he'll do well. He's got everything to pull out the run. And
Robin, this is your speciality. What do we need to look for?
Exactly what Thibaut delivers. Nice, stylish strokes, long, elegant style, and you see him coming down here. He wanted to keep the nose down, pointed through 2, using that hydraulic to get across the 3. So really nice start here by Thibaut. As he comes into 5, they look to get that bow up and just keep that boat running. As Nuria said, it's a really messy, so you're just looking to really keep the boat speed on as much as you can the whole way down. If you had to stop, that's going to hurt.
And we saw yesterday that everyone coming over the line was panting away. Does it really test your whole ability?
Probably the most physical course I've paddled on to date. So, yeah, it's definitely challenging out there.
And Nuria, the water's big enough for you?
I like it bigger, but it's definitely hard enough.
Okay, let's concentrate.
Thibaut is doing a really good run so far. He's pulling hard. Usually he's trying to slide a little bit more in his boat, and I can tell that he is going for it. So hopefully it will be fast.
As his character, what tactics will he have?
He will go hard and pretty radical. He just did like a really radical spin on gate 15. And it looked pretty fast, way faster than what he did in his semi-final. I just hope he can hold his run together, but it looks like he's doing a really good run. He did a reverse in gate 19.
Well, we've seen this gate. 18-19 has been taking so many problems.
Yeah, and a big problem there. So 50-second penalty for Thibaut. He was looking so good, so smooth, using those edges beautifully the whole way down, and that's a real shame. Great to see him really finishing this run off, though.
It is definitely going to be disappointed at such a stupid way to make a 50. I guess it's not easy to be a lefty on this move, and
yeah, real shame for Thibaut.
Not good.
He came and stayed with us in Australia a couple of years ago. We're still getting his mail, so we've got a big stack of mail for you, mate, whenever you want it.
Well, that's not the ideal start. We had a Frenchie, and the Frenchies have cleared up so far this weekend in qualifications, but he's going to be regretting that for some while, I guess.
Yeah, just rolled the wrong side of his head, and you could see he knew immediately.
Franz Anton from Germany. really successful in the last few years, and in the last couple of years has been making a great partnership with Jan Bientin, who's also in this final in the C2s.
Yeah, he had an amazing recovery in the semi-final, Franz. Actually did, in effect, 2 upstreams at gate 9, eddied out early and had to go back around for it again. So
he must have had by far the fastest second section, because we thought he was out and then he suddenly came through.
He was absolutely flying. So he's one of these guys who can just recover and got that mental ability to do whatever he wants out there.
Yeah, the German C1 men are really strong. They're strong in every category, but the C1 men, you can see that they have 2 C1 men in this final, and Tatsiadis couldn't come, but he's definitely one of the boys who's leading the sport.
Yeah, real shame not to have Tatsiadis here, and our thoughts go to him and Claudia. But Franz here doing his countrymen proud, looking really strong and smooth, setting himself up for this tricky move here. See all the German support following him down, pushes out. It's going for a direct, so we're going to see a difference between the righties and the lefties here today.
We saw quite a few problems in the semis in the 15-16.
Yeah, and there's another problem, he's low.
Yeah, he was a little bit late on his forward spin gate 15, and then he had to do a reverse on gate 16, so he's probably lost a little bit of time there, but as you said it earlier, he's fast enough to make up some time.
Going for direct. Ducks the head around, that was amazing. So pretty quick, they're not the quickest we've seen, but a good recovery. Now he's just got to keep the weight on the front, keep the boat moving the whole way in and out. That last up left can catch you out. If you try and fight it a little bit too much, it can really bite you, but he's done really well and charging all the way to the finish. So a solid run.
And he seems happy with that. It's definitely going to be interesting, because 110 would have put him in 3rd position in the semi-final, but the final is always a new game, so it could be a medal.
Yeah, we saw some amazing runs from Lefebvre with a 107 and also Slavkovsky with another 107.
Slavkovsky looks like he was just having a bit of a fun run, wasn't he? The last half he just cruised it.
Yeah.
These are the semi-finals that actually happened about an hour and a half ago. So we're coming to you live from Deep Creek, which is the top of, they call it a mountain, it's a little hill, but it's Tom Quinn. I spoke to him about half an hour ago and said, how are you? He was amazingly relaxed.
Yeah, it seems he had a bit of trouble in Augsburg with his teammate Ryan Wesley spearing him right in the ribs, but he's done incredibly well to make the finals here, because he was actually had to take a break for a while and let that rib recover. So to make the final here is a great effort by Tom.
And as we mentioned, if you just tuned in, unfortunately David Florence didn't make it. So didn't make it in the C2, didn't make it in the C1, but he's big enough. He's actually coming to join us tomorrow afternoon in the commentary box.
Yeah, Thomas Quinn is looking really good right now. I saw him yesterday, and he seemed really relaxed as well. I think he's just going for a clean run, and he's in the final. He's got nothing to lose, so that could be an interesting run.
Yeah, Tom really charges at all his runs, but I think actually he looks a little bit smoother here this weekend than in previous races, and maybe that rib has just meant that he can't quite go for as much as he normally would. And it might actually be helping him here, but that was a great move there.
He's using his technique, not
just the raw power.
Strains.
And I think that's a real advantage here on Deep Creek, because the water is so messy. If you're fighting the water, you're just going to come out second best.
This is a combination that no one particularly liked when we saw the gates that first put up, and it's been causing all sorts of problems.
And he's going for the back ferry kind of option, and I think it's the first C1 I saw doing this so far, and it's probably not the fastest, but it's safe. It was not super close to the pole, so it's probably a good strategy.
It's going to be close between him and Franz here. Just getting a little bit stuck. He's going to be just outside.
1.88. You've made it to the final, which is already good.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with that, considering his lead up, and yeah, great to see Tom doing well.
Pretty good clean run.
Yeah, maybe that move in the middle on 18-19 where he was just a little bit conservative As we see here, going for that back off move, so he's actually having to stop the boat there, which of course takes that speed off.
And he stopped a little bit in the last gate too.
Benji, Savsek, they don't come much quicker than him.
No. It doesn't look as though he's paddling at all, but I can assure you he's putting so much pressure through that paddle. Just so stylish, so smooth.
And one in Tachin a couple of months ago in his home course.
Yeah, and he's always in the finals. Like most of the finals, he's there, and it's either winning or doing a big mistake. And I hope he will do well.
Yeah, that's a good move there. Just going a little bit lower into gate 9, so he can keep the speed on the exit. We've seen a few people trying to cut the line there and getting caught on the eddy line and having to make some big time losses.
Well, he's good on the split. He was fractionally up on the first split from Franz Anton.
Yeah, he's in touch, and we saw that Franz had a little bit of trouble in gate 15, 16. He was late, so it's probably a good thing for Benjamin.
Smooth exit, going for the spin, which I think most of the lefties will do. We only saw Mardikin from the lefties going for it direct, and that seemed to actually hurt him.
And he's looking fast.
And he's got that very smooth technique, so he's not fighting the water. Franz looking happy.
Well, it's 2.67 up, so Franz, you need to take advantage of your situation and you have it.
He probably lost a little bit of time there. This move is harder for the lefties. He had to do a reverse in the hole, and his boat kind of got stuck, but since it was 2 seconds faster, it might just be able to keep
It's really putting the power down.
it together until the end of the run.
He threads his nose through. Now he's got to charge all the way to the finish line, keeping that boat nice and dry.
Well, 1.68 seconds up. Well done.
That's a really good run. Best time was 1:07 from Fabien Lefebvre. So he's definitely...
Medals are definitely an option there for Ben. He won the bronze medal last year in Prague.
So far we've seen, of the 4 competitors, we saw in the semi-final the first 4 went free. Last year it was David Florence, Slavkovsky and Benji Slavsek there. Here we go, and it's Takuya Haneda from Japan, just about to come into action. We're seeing the slow-mos in your picture. 7th in the Olympic Games, as we've mentioned a few times, inspired by Mardikin, I believe.
Yeah, he moved to Slovakia, so he's training in Slovakia with the best C1 in the world, like Mardikin, Slavkovsky, and Benish. So.
And you can see it in his style. He's, again, just trying to keep that paddle in the water the whole time and use the speed that he already has to keep moving in the right direction and keep that boat tracking. So a little bit caught here. He's going to have to fight to keep that nose down. Does it really well and avoids a touch as well. So great effort by Takuya. See how straight he keeps that top arm. So he's always looking to keep that paddle vertical, which means that you've got the maximum amount of pressure on the blade and you can use it to the best effect.
Well, it was 2 seconds down on the split, and it was very competitive in the first places, so he needs to go something.
Nicely in and out of 14, just the one stroke. We haven't seen too many people get it that sweet. Opting for the spin, a little bit conservative perhaps, so he has to keep that momentum, but he's not. He's sliding into 17, so that's another time loss there. So, but as you said, Nuria, this bottom move here does suit the righties a little bit more, so he could make up a fair bit of time here.
There's 3 seconds off the pace,
I
but
think
that seems to be good.
Yeah, it will be hard to go faster than Benjamin Slavsek, but he could definitely challenge the second place and 110 of Anton Franz Anton.
It's the last 2 gates, and it's a case of 5 or 6 paddle strokes until they over the line.
It's going to be tight, and he's
just outside Franz.
Well, that's consistent with his best level, to be fair. He always does well in Augsburg, or the last couple of seasons he has.
Well, he has done like lots of finals, and he did a few mistakes on his run and was a little bit conservative, so I guess he could do better, but it's a good run already.
Halfway through the competition, 108.62 leads it off, which is a second slower than the fastest in the semi-finals, and we do have big hitters to come. Next is Luka Bozic, who is very fit, going in the C2s as well.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. He's one of the guys who are doubling up, so he's doing the C1 and the C2, which means that he's racing a lot during the week. And but I guess he's training enough not to feel it and to be just fit enough, picking up the penalty there.
Are there any similarities between here and Tatson with the water?
I think Tatson's a lot faster in general, and even though there are surges in Tatson, it's more the water moving left to right, not just going everywhere, whereas here you can really struggle to find the path of the water. But Luka keeps his body so still, so he's one that can really be advantageous on this water because he's not fighting the water at all.
As we see, he's picked up a 2-second penalty on gate number 5, and he was 4 seconds off the pace, so he needs to pick it up a bit.
It's tricky when you pick up an early penalty because you know that you already have like 2 seconds to make up, but he's doing well so far, not taking risks and just keeping the boat in line.
Well, he's unfortunately he's not gained a medal today.
No, he's going for the direct move though, and that was fantastic. So he definitely made up a bit of time there. Looking smooth down this bottom section.
Robin, would that be a planned move, or would that be, whoops, I think I'm a bit slow, I need to really do something?
No, I think that's a planned move. It's definitely on, but it does have a lot more risk involved than the spin for the lefties.
And way harder, so it's pretty impressive that he just did that really well.
Well, ranked number 5 out of 6.
Yeah, so he made up 2 seconds on that bottom section there. Unfortunately, just those touches up the top, putting him a little bit lower down on the order.
So far we have Benjamin Savsek from Slovenia leading it with 108.62. The first 4 are clear. Moving into the second of the C2s for Germany, and it's C1 Jan Benzian.
Let's see if he goes faster than his C2 partner.
Yeah, little race within a race, bragging rights. Jan, just an animal in the boat. He's one of the fittest and strongest guys out on the course, on the circuit.
He's not necessarily the youngest though, is he?
Not. He's putting us all to shame a little bit.
And he's always charging.
He's always smiling as well, which is great to see.
Yeah.
So just working the bow in around, keeping that speed on a little bit lowered, and again that's keeping the speed on, just getting stuck slightly. It's a really tough exit out of that gate 9.
Yeah, he was a little bit too close to the pole, so he couldn't like pull on his blade and exit straight away. Had to wait, and by the time he was able to pull on his blade, he was already a little bit far up.
As we saw, he's 1.7 seconds down at the split, so everything to go for.
Again, just a little bit low, but that means that he'll have more speed for the exit. He's going for the spin. Really nicely done, but he's lost a bit of an edge and he's coming a little bit low. Can he pull it back? He's got the upstream blade, which is very handy into 17, so that's looking quite fast there.
Let's see if he makes up the 1.7 seconds.
I think he'll still be down.
No, he's lost another second.
Yeah.
Second place is 1.68 back. Third is 2.27.
That was much faster than Ben. Ben had a bit of a struggle on that spin, so he might have made a second up there. Can he make any more?
It's probably the best spin I've seen so far on this gate. So it's maybe not as fast as a forward move, but it shouldn't be much slower.
Let's see how he goes. So just outside the time of...
Well, moves provisionally into 3rd place, as you can see, has some regrets out there.
Yeah, made up a little bit of time on that spin, but just not quite enough, and not enough to move in front of his C2 partner, Franz Anton. So Franz has got the bragging rights today.
but both making the final and significant, often making the final this season.
Same where as their C2.
Yeah, they've really stepped up their game in both classes. So really impressive work by the two of them.
3 more athletes to go and 3 top competitors. First up, Mate Beneš from Slovakia.
So Mate wasn't actually initially in the Slovak team for this World Champs, but through just sheer weight of great performances over the season, has forced his way back in. And again, he's made the final here and looked very impressive in the semi.
Just shows that having the force of power to bounce back.
Getting a little bit stuck, just falling on his edge on the exit there. But we see that won't be a big time loss. Very smooth in and out, keeping the boat running, aiming a little bit low.
And this season so far, we've seen a whole domination in Spain from the Slovakians, and we've seen the top 3 really going for it all the time. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, Martican hasn't made the final. 2.71 down at the moment. He's going to have to go for it.
Yeah, he definitely lost a little bit of time in that up number 9. He was low, but he is a big name in the sport, and he can pull out some really impressive stuff. So we need to wait on the bottom section, which is like a little bit more technical, to see whether he can catch up some time or not.
I think he's caught up some time there already. Great direct move, and again he's got this gate 18-19 move as a righty, so I think he could be bringing that margin back.
Well, he's
holding
2.31, so yeah, so he's still in it, but has to do something special.
And there it is.
And here it is. Pretty radical and fast, and taking advantage of being a righty for that move.
Oh, and a
just-
touch.
No.
So cruel, and he's
That's
caught
nearly
on
cost
the
him.
exit.
You see the Slovaks in the background cheering him on in the pale blue shirts.
Inside.
Well,
he's so
he's-
fast in a straight line, but he's not going to be able to make this deficit back up.
No, that's surprising. We do have our first medalist. Benjamin Savsek, who we said medalled last year in Prague, has medalled again.
Yeah, congrats, Benny. That's a great result.
2 competitors to go, and these are amazing. These are the fastest 2 by a long way in the semi-finals. Contrasting styles. We saw Fabien Lefebvre weaving in and out and did an amazing time, and he was delighted. He came to speak to us afterwards. And Alexander Slafowski, who had a stroll in the park, we thought he had a couple of seconds in him. Here he goes.
Yeah, Alexander Slavkovsky had a really good season so far. He's really impressive on the water, and can't wait to see what he managed to do there.
Last cover season in 2012 in the World Cups, he was on fire.
He's looking really consistent in the last couple of years, and just looks to be really comfortable with his style, and he's always an entertainer. So he shows us here a bit of flair there.
And he's tight on that gate, on that exit on gate number 5.
Lifts the nose over that little stopper after 7. In and out. Trying to get the nose down onto this stopper so that you can run that tracking line all the way across to 9. He's done that really well. You can see how short the line was there. His boat not really getting stuck like we saw Benus's boat.
Well, despite him doing really well, he's nearly a second down.
Yeah, Benny was surprisingly quick.
Yeah, Alexander was probably really tight in those 2 upstreams, but sometimes you kind of lose sometimes because you don't have enough room to paddle. And it picked up a touch on gate number 14.
You just saw it bouncing, so maybe with the front of his boat.
There is an appeal procedure if it was water. But let's see. If it wasn't, that's going to put him out of contention.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
2.35. If assume the penalty comes off, he's very much in touch. We'll just have to wait and see.
And that was a really good move.
Yeah, a little bit more, a little bit safer than Benus. Not quite as quick, but still very, very good. See here, he's given himself a little bit more room as well. Keeps the boat moving. And another touch.
That's put him out
They're
of the game.
just picking up the same touches.
Is that down to tiredness or really trying to pick out this medal?
Crazy.
It's just that eddy there, it's so dead, and you're trying to get the boat shifting, and it just gives you nothing.
Well done, thank you for waving anyway. So far we do have a Slovenian and German medalist. And we have, this is what we want for locals. We have Fabien Lefebvre. Tell us a bit about him. He's an extraordinary character, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's probably one of the greatest paddler in the sport. I mean, he started with K1, then he did C2, medaled in C2, and now he's just doing both K1 and the C1. It's really impressive.
Yeah, probably the toughest disciplines to double up on, because generally they're spaced quite close together. So, from point of view, he's racing non-stop.
He came in and talked to us and said his initial goal was to make it to both finals. Now his goal is to make it medals in both finals. We'll have to see how he gets forward.
A good start. He's got a good tight exit. Got the boat back on track.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Fabien, the only one in this final to employ the switching tactic, and I think he'll be, as we can see at the top here, he's going down as a righty.
Maybe losing a little bit of time in that gate number 9 because he had to turn a little bit radically, but
One
he
and a
can
half
make
seconds off, Sonia. 1.5 seconds off the pace. There's a good crowd. There's a big grandstand, but also there's people sitting on the grass and standing beside both sides. You see the grandstand there, 2,800 capacity.
It's a good pre-turn, short line in and out of 14.
Has a 2-second penalty in 9 of it.
And he's gonna switch now. It's really impressive because he's changing in a place where you usually want to have your blade in the water to keep in control, and he's
certainly putting on a show.
Yeah.
It just shows the boat control that he has. He uses edges so beautifully.
He's in touch with a 2-second penalty. It's really impressive, and that spin was amazing.
Best we've seen. Yeah.
Well, he's already twice world champion in the K1. See what he does.
So pushes in, good room, and there he gets a great exit. So
108.62 to go for.
This could be close.
5, 6, 7.
Oh, so close.
That's amazing. Like, Fabien Lefebvre is definitely the big part of the history of the sport. Like, he started C1 like 1.5, 2 years ago, and he's vice world champion.
Don't jump in. You have your radio on the back. Don't jump in.
Aaron's
jump,
very
Aaron.
excited.
Jump, Aaron.
Aaron, obviously one of the forerunners.
That's amazing. Like, with a touch.
Yeah. The only one in the top.
And there's
top
we
six
have
too.
an appeal there. So will that be a negative or positive appeal?
I didn't see the touch.
I didn't see the touch, so could be a positive one.
The way it works is there is an asterisk by Fabien Lefebvre's name. They will go to appeal. We don't know if it's go for add a penalty or to take one off. If it is taken off, he would win. So we can't unfortunately confirm the results at the moment, but we confirm that we've had a cracking first competition.
And he'd win by quite some margin. So really impressive run and just blisteringly fast. We saw him 1.5 seconds down in that first split.
Robin, what will actually be physically happening now? If the judges have been asked to check it, will they be checking videos or?
I assume it'll go to the video judge, and the chief judge will be looking at that with them. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get that information very quickly.
Luka Bozic's got a busy weekend ahead of him.
That was one of the most exciting runs I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's intense.
Okay.
I can't. I need a rest.
It's not the biggest whitewater here, but it seems to be producing some of the best racing I've seen in a long time. So, yeah, great course.
I mean, he did like an incredible semi-final run, and he's even faster in his final run with a mistake on gate number 9 and maybe a touch on another gate. So.
42 nations competing this weekend. It's not the biggest ever field. It's 25 years, everyone said, since the Savage River competition. But they seem to have really, everyone's staying in great lodges. We're having a lot of fun, but it seems to be a great competition as well.
Yeah. The Australian team's staying in probably the best accommodation we've ever had. Hot tub, indoor pool. It's a great location. So if you have the chance to come here, everyone.
And skiing in the winter, the Wisp Resort, which is it's not the highest in the world, but it's got some black ones as well, and it's a lot of fun. There's Mr. Lefebvre that's here.
Yeah, we just saw Noe, his son. He looked pretty stressed, but I'm sure he's super happy right now. It's amazing.
physically, what will be Fabian doing? Because he's going to be running in about, is it 40 minutes or so? He's going to
it's gonna be hard for him
to put it out of his mind, I guess.
To just like start again in the K1 men final. Is starting off first because he was the last in. But I mean, he's got enough experience and talent to just pull it through. So
he was saying as to us yesterday, it was just a case of training your muscles, then trusting your muscles to switch from one to another.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think some people can do it pretty easily, and for some other it's harder. But he's training for it. He's training really hard. Or, I mean, when he was in France, I could see that he was always on the water, and I'm sure like he won't have any physical problem.
He's getting a bit older now, but he's still
well, it's
impressive.
still not to be too negative and indecisive, but we still have an asterisk by Fabien Lefebvre, so I'm not going to call the results. If it does stay like it goes Benji Savsek, Slovenia, followed by Fabien Lefebvre, followed by Franz Anton. So Franz Anton will take a medal.
Yeah.
Savsek will take a medal. We just don't know what Fabien Lefebvre's going to do. He's just in front of his, putting his boat down. Let's see. I guess he's going to be going straight up to prepare for the next one. We called him in last time. We're not going to do it this time.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation for him because he will have to avoid everyone and the media and the people who are cheering for him just to go and prepare for his K1 men run.
Well, he's just in front of it. He's just been given his new helmet. He's been given his new bib number.
And he's just gonna go on the water and escape from everyone.
Yeah, he's got a job to do, and I'm sure he's got the experience that he knows that he just has to put it out of his mind. And
let's move on.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated, but we have the canoe singles women's final. We had the semi-finals about an hour and a half ago. No big surprises there. I think there's a few disappointed competitors, but I think everyone who was on paper has done really well this season, made it through to the finals.
Yeah, we had Anna Satila, who had a smoking fast run with 8 touch initially, and one of her touch happened to be a 50, so she's out of the final. But,
oh, really? Sorry.
It would have been interesting to watch her race the final, actually.
Yeah, she's been so impressive this year, Anna. Had a great under-23 world, or junior and under-23 world champs in Penrith, and I was really looking forward to seeing her in this final. Anyway, here we are with Jasmine Royal.
So she's promoted up, because I know she was 11th, wasn't she?
Yeah, so it's a bad thing for Hannah, but it's definitely a good thing for Jazz, and hopefully she can take that opportunity and get a good run together.
So you see Jasmine switching through that first gate, just trying to get on the upstream side of the boat so she can drive the boat and get it tracking really well. So good start here, looking for a clean run. And just as I say that, there was commentary curse there. Sorry, Jazz.
Exactly the same course, but obviously with physically you just don't have the same capabilities, I guess, so you have to use different technique.
Not too sure, like some of the girls are using the same technique, just they need to be a little bit more smooth some places, because when they're offline it's harder to get back in line. But same thing for K1 women and K1 men. So.
Yeah, you'll definitely see more of the girls switching, which is, I think, really good move, and you see a lot of the guys employing that move these days, like Stefano Cipresi. Fabian, exactly. So he could be world champion. So I think it's almost the way of the future.
We've discussed this before, but you're too big and powerful. You don't need to switch.
Exactly. I'm not that coordinated either. So respect to the girls and Fabian and all those other guys.
Yeah, but if you can feel confident on both sides, it's usually a good advantage to be able to switch.
Yeah, switching to the downstream side, which promotes that slide, and you see a switch back. So I think that was maybe a slight misstep there. It's such a tactical battle when you bring the switching into it, because you want to be on the right side of the boat at the right time. So switching to the right-hand side here, which I think, as we saw in the men's, is definitely the option.
Was that
going
a
direct?
Well, there's certainly a touch there.
Yeah.
But as we saw in the semi-finals, they can afford to take some touches.
And she's looked smooth so far, so I think it's been a good run.
Yeah, it will be way better than her semi-final run.
So leading time on the semi-final, 1:33.26 by Nuria Villarubla from Spain.
Yasmin was 18 seconds off the pace. So she's
What?
Very tight on that gate 23, and she's having to go back for it.
So that's going to be a big loss of time there.
Oh, it's a real shame. She had such a good run to that point. And that gate 23 can catch you out because the water shifts back to the left so quickly through there. If you start turning too early, you're going to get caught out.
Well, she made it to the final. First down of 10 athletes to go. And as we'd expect, we have Ros Lawrence, Hoskova, Jessica Fox, your mate Oriane Rebord, and Nuria Villarubla, who had some good results. Not forgetting Caroline Loire, who's...
And we have
Mallory Franklin, who was World Cup champion, I think, this year.
And we have a really young Russian paddler right now. I don't think I've ever seen her in any C1 women finals.
No.
So it's already a really good result for her, and definitely someone to watch for the future.
Yeah, had a great semi-final. One of the earlier girls to go off in the semi-final, and just you could see she was keeping the boat running, keeping it smooth, going direct in 12 but running a little bit wide, so incurring another penalty there. You can see that water just sliding away as she's trying to track back to the right here.
And that's going to be a little bit low in gate 14, but
at least she'll have some good momentum and speed out of the gate. But she's dropped off the back of 14 as well, just gets inside 15.
picks up another penalty there.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit messy here from Sabatova.
She's definitely having a hard time to keep her run together, and she's going to be lower again in gate 17. It's really not easy when that kind of thing happens to you. You kind of go from one mistake to another, and all you have to do and all you can do is just hold on and try to keep your run together, although you're struggling.
Well, 7 seconds down, so it's still possible to make some time up. Do they train for 140 seconds, or it seems a bit longer than normal this course?
Yeah, I think it's definitely longer than some of the other courses, and just the pure physicality of the course here is making it really tough.
And being in a World Championship final, I guess, puts a bit of extra stress on them.
Yeah, so as we said, we haven't really seen her, and she's having more trouble here getting caught on the rock. Does she? I thought she was going to push herself back through the gate, but she avoids that, moving on down to the finish. Smooth last two gates, so very good there, but the damage had already been done earlier in the course.
As we mentioned, first big final, so great learning experience. Yasmin Royal was 157.7. She's appealing something. We'll find out hopefully what soon. Mallory Franklin, she looked grumpy all weekend, and she's obviously got something to prove perhaps to herself today, because she had not a great first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mallory's style. She can be grumpy and still like get a really nice run at the end of the weekend. This year in London, she had probably one of the best run of C1 women history. It was just amazing, no mistakes, and smooth and in line. And
we've seen a mistake there.
So it's looking pretty awesome for next year, because she'll be on home turf for the World Championships in London. 1.85 off, which she may be expecting to be well ahead of these others.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it, but I think she had a spin on gate 3 as well, so hasn't been that same kind of style or class of run that we saw in London earlier this year, and switching there a little bit late, and she's sliding down into this move, the Stabbage Falls as the locals call it.
Well, she missed out on the K1, so at least she can put all her energies into this.
Keeps the nose tracking across, good spin there. She's driving out onto that
changing
wave.
sides as well.
Yeah, it's so impressive when the girls switch in the middle of some of the biggest white water on the course.
It's so fast that sometimes you can almost like not notice it.
Blink and you miss it.
You see them, it's very rare that they actually drop the paddle into the water. So 6 seconds up, that's more like it. She's made up a lot of time in the last section.
Another touch, and goes for the spin, but we've seen all the girls have touched gate 19 so far. So she won't have lost too much time there, but it's depending on how the girls at the end of the course go.
Yeah, she picked up a touch, but at the same time she spun like just in that hole, and that was fast. But unfortunately, she's picking another touch, which is not gonna help her. But
I think she's going to move into the lead by a handy margin though here. Coming down 138.78, 20 seconds in front.
that's a really good time, because the fastest time was a 1:33 from Nuria Villarrubia plus 4-second penalty, and she's in 1:32 plus 6-second penalty.
Yeah, so a little bit surprising how quick she was on that run actually.
She had a pretty slow top section and then really fast on the rest of the course.
Yeah, so a lot of paddlers, I think we've seen some of the great runs they've built into them, and here at the top of the course.
Caro Loire, I think she just had a little bit of trouble in that gate number 3.
She looked to struggle in the first one. She wasn't delighted when she came over the finish line.
No, she just had not a good run, but good enough to make it through. And she had a 50, but that got taken off.
Yeah, so just running the boat very flat, very smooth so far. Very tight on gate 9, and she's having to pull up.
She's doing a Merano kind of thing in gate number 9.
Oh no, get back up. I don't think she went through the gate there, so I don't think she's got
she needs to paddle back up.
Must be sapping a lot of energy.
Look at that water, that boil
that is
there.
So hard when you have such a big mistakes to hold your run together. It happened to her before, but I think that it's gonna be hard to finish the run and take a good results with that.
Well,
she's just doing another
Lost
mistake.
momentum, hasn't she? Did you say that she'd injured herself a while ago and has got to go for surgery? Are you saying that?
Yeah, she had a shoulder problem, and it got pretty bad after our training camp here. So she will probably have to stop at the end of the season and take care of the shoulder to come back next year.
But the crowd's giving her a good cheer. Let's see how she can pick up.
So good work there, staying on that upstream blade, keeping the tracking into gate 17. Don't know how you found this course, Nuria, but we had a lot of work from the physio with our shoulders because it was just so physical the whole time on this training camp.
Yeah, this course is definitely, you take some hits and
going direct.
It's probably a big advantage to have physio with your team.
That was great work there by Carol. First girl we've seen go direct.
Yeah.
2 touches.
She knows like it's over.
Yeah. Still showing her skills and class on this bottom section.
She will be disappointed.
Well, there we go. Not going to happen today. So far, we've had 4 competitors of the 10 and the top athlete, Charlie Franklin, who put in a time which was a second slower than the top semi-final of 1:38.78. So far, 6, 6, 10 and 10 penalties.
See, like we see the slow motion. Caro fell in the water while she was like changing her paddle side, and it's really hard to not have your paddle in the water on some of those moves. So the switching is definitely a technical part.
Well, Lawrence in action. She's going to be busy again this weekend.
He ran low into 9, but you could see she kept that speed in the back of the eddy. Sorry.
Well, slightly up at the moment.
And turns early. You see her try and drive in. Great work, keeps the nose going downstream and moving quickly through gate 12 and 13. Opting for the switch and quite late as well.
Another girl who likes the big water.
Oh, picking up a touch on gate 14.
Yeah, Ros was saying she's absolutely gutted that she's going to miss out on zipline this year, but she loves paddling there and loves paddling here as well.
Zipline is like Deep Creek, it's not big water.
You've been...
I'm scared to paddle on it.
We'll talk about what you've done the last month in a minute, Nuria, but you're one of the first to do this some crazy run a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, here we go. Ros Lawrence is 2.46 seconds down.
So she's opting for the spin, but she's getting caught on that stopper there.
Yeah, we saw Mallory Franklin picking up a touch on that gate while she was doing the speed, but it was probably
It's all going wrong, isn't it?
worth it because her spin was really fast and Rose just picked up an Eskimo roll. It's good that she's used to whitewater because she can roll really fast.
We must take a bit of your breath away.
I think it was fast enough for her not to be too tired from it.
You just have to hope that you're not on the inhale as you go over.
Well, she's not going to be in the first position, but theoretically she can still put herself in the possibility of medal.
Yeah, it's a second place, 9 seconds behind Mallory. So a solid effort from Roz. I think she'll know that she could have done better, but still a great work. And she's got the K1 to look forward to tomorrow as well.
And it's a little bit annoying because I heard the sound of Katerina Oshkova already took the start, and we have the slow motion of Rose here.
Well, let's get onto track. Hoskova, here she goes. She's down on gate number 5. So looking at the screen, we can see she hasn't had any penalties so far.
Yeah, she was being really conservative in her semi-final run, so she didn't go really fast, but at the same time she always was in the middle of the gates and without major mistakes. So I guess that if maybe she goes a little bit harder on her final run, she could have a smoking time.
Well, she knows what it feels like to stand at the top of the podium. What I'm talking about is she's the 2011 world champion, nearly a second up. And what I mentioned also before, if you were tuning in, she regrets that she's never won a World Cup race.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really surprised by
Although
that.
she was the overall champion this year, she was hoping to do it. No, that's her major ambition.
It's I mean, for most people, the World Championship is the most important race of the season. So I guess that if she can be World Champion again, she will totally be fine without a gold medal in the World Cup race
Sign
this
up
year.
for that.
Great spin there, pushing
Radical.
out.
So it looks like she could really take apart this time.
Yeah, she definitely going like more radical and tighter on those gates, and a little bit low in gate 17, but keeping the speed of the boat. And
Well, she only had 2 seconds of penalties in the first run, so there's. But she's down on the split. That's surprising.
Yeah, dropped a bit of
she's
time.
3.7
I think that-
seconds down.
Gate 17 really hurt her there. She's going for the spin, takes the touch,
2 second penalties again, so that'll put her 5 seconds down.
and that wasn't nearly as quick as Mallory's spin either. So she's got a lot of work to do down this bottom section.
but she could definitely challenge Rose,
Yeah, yeah.
because we saw Rose had a roll just after this left upstream, and Oshkova is just looking like she's charging to the finish.
So we have a 9 second penalty, 9 second margin to play with from first to second, where she's going to take provisional second place.
So solid run there, and she's happy with it. So always got a smile on her face.
Yeah, she's always happy. She's one of the paddler. You see her, and she's always happy, and it's good to just
Give us a
hang out
smile,
with her.
Murray. Nearly a smile.
Yeah, Mallory's grumpy this week. Eh?
I shouldn't have said that.
10
Anyway,
times.
we've had 6 of the.
I'll just make sure she knows that.
I have 6. I'm a big fan of Mallory and have been for the last 3 years. Last 6 gone, and we have Martina Sadkova, who is not old enough to drink over here.
No, it's 16, isn't she?
I believe she is.
Especially since it's 21.
Yeah.
But I don't think Czechs care too much about that.
Okay, I'm just trying to add value.
She had a few issues there on gate 9, but seemed to avoid the touch very well.
Well, 6 seconds, so in theory she's still in touch, having taken the 4 seconds penalties.
Yeah. Again, choosing for the spin 11, so not as fast or as attacking as some of the other girls. She's looking for that good solid run down.
And sometimes you go faster when you take time, and it's better to stay in your confidence zone and be able to paddle than just trying some things you're not feeling really good about. And I think she's doing good here.
Performing to her level and doing it really nicely so far. So
Well, she's got good role models, hasn't she? Hoskova and Janika.
Yeah, the three Czech C1 women are in the final. It shows our competitive the C1 women scene is in Czech Republic.
Well, 10 seconds off, so she just has to go. She is third position at the moment, is 9.17 seconds down. So that's what her target is, the bronze position, where Roz Lawrence is holding on at the moment.
So another touch there, but she was extremely fast in that spin. Probably rivaling Mallory for the fastest spin so far on gate 19. In and out, good work on gate 22. So she just has to be wary of these last 23 to 24. She looked like she set that up nicely. Threads the nose through. A little bit stuck in the eddy actually, just after it. She's done well.
And that's enough to put her into 4th place, but 16 years old, first major World Championships. I don't think she's going to be happy, but I would be.
Yeah, it's good experience. And we have Oriane Rebourg, my training partner.
Another training partner, that's why we got you in here.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Both my training partner made the finals. Yeah. It's already a good day. I'm a little bit sad for Thibaut, who 50th in his final run, but hopefully Oriane can save the day.
Well, she's certainly off to
Looks
an
like
encouraging
it.
start.
Nice and smooth, driving in, getting that nose down on the exit.
Have you managed to speak to her between the semi-final and the final?
No, I didn't want it to bother her, really. Just picked up a really small touch on gate number 9 with her hand.
But she's still, look, 1 1/4 seconds up.
Yeah.
It was a nice exit out of 9 actually. She got probably one of the tightest exits and most tracking exit, but she's having to spin here because she was a little bit late from 11 to 12.
She actually spinned in her first run too, so it was her
Plan
strategy.
move. Yeah.
Doesn't feel confident on the forward move, so decided to spin. I think my coach tried to convince her to do the forward move, but obviously she
It might have been a good move because
didn't want it to do it.
yeah, a lot of the girls just having to take the speed off above on 11, and she was able to keep the speed on and charge in there.
She's a little bit low in that up 17, but most of the C1 women were, or at least the Czech girls and Mallory were quite low as well.
And
Well, we're in the lead at the moment.
And waiting for the crux move.
so she's
doing the reverse again. Semi-final, I think she picked up another 2-second penalty, but
Well, she's 4.5
Still
seconds
fast.
margin at the moment from the
Another
silver
touch.
medal.
come on. Oh, not a touch.
That's going to hurt.
climbing quite high out of there, so there's little margins falling away.
And
As you can see, bronze medal is 1:43 or 1:40.
second.
Second
so
place.
close.
With 3 touches, she had a really good bottom part. That was intense.
Yeah, definitely. So her and Mallory.
8 gone. Mallory Franklin in the moment in gold. Oriane Rebourg in silver. Katerina Hoskova in bronze. Oh, it's very close. Look at that. And
It's
Smiles
quite good
there.
to see people actually expressing something on the current leaderboard. Usually you don't want any controversy, so you try to stay politically correct and just not express any of your feeling, although you're stoked because the other one didn't manage to go faster than you.
Jess Fox, 20 years old from Australia, is probably the fastest one in pure speed on the water.
Without doubt.
Yeah, definitely the girl to beat here, and you can see why on those top couple of moves. It's looking effortless, but there's a bit of effort, having to fight to get into 9. But she's done well. Oh, just caught on a massive boil there. Almost swallowed the boat.
But she is still almost 3 seconds faster than Mallory on that top section, although she kind of had a little bit of a mistake in that upright and then got caught by the boil. So she's definitely showing how fast can Jess be.
In the qualification, she had a massive mistake and still managed to qualify in second. So that raw speed is something that Jess can use to her advantage. Going for the spin. Needs to get the boat around and use that wave. She's sliding around a bit here.
Last year in Prague, she won by 7 seconds, didn't she? But didn't make it to the K1 final, so let's see how she gets there.
Yeah, just a little bit slow there to get across that boil line. It's not really a stream, it's just a boil line.
But I
Well,
think she's
2.95
just charging more than on the top section right now. Going for the spin and it's perfect. God, it's
There's
just
2 seconds.
picking up a touch, but
but she's still moving downstream, which is the important thing. So has to stay clean here.
She'd only want gold, wouldn't she?
Eh?
She'd only want gold medal. I don't think she runs for second or third place.
And she's switching to the downstream side. I'm not sure why.
Just to make sure that on gate 24 she can be tight and keep her boat in the mainstream. And
knows what she's
she
doing.
had a smocking bottom section because although she had missed 2 touches, she's just 6 seconds ahead of Mallory. I'm not sure if Nuria will be able to challenge that, but she also has a really good style and improved a lot in the past couple years and can do really impressive stuff on her crossbow. Doesn't switch as much as some of the other girls, so looking forward to see her run.
Well, we do have a medal for Mallory Franklin. Is it going to be a silver or is it going to be a bronze? Provisionally, Jessica Fox is in gold position with 1:32. Mallory second, Oriane in the bronze position.
And Nuria Villarrubia just picked up an early penalty on gate number 5. But she's fast enough to not be bothered with a penalty. Switching on the top of the hole.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the best place. She needed one more stroke to get across that eddy line, but she keeps the boat moving forwards. And a roll. So things falling apart here a little bit for Villarrubia. Can she pull it back? Another
She's
touch.
just picking up another touch.
And I think she's going to have to spin here because she's not been able to get that nose down. She does back out into the current.
That's a really hard way to start your run, and I don't know if she'll be able to pull it through, but if she does, that's pretty amazing.
That'll be a great mental effort. Drives the way up on top.
Switching.
Good position.
And it looks like she's back in her run.
Yeah, that's really... No.
No.
That's not what you want.
Okay.
You can see on the bottom of her boat there she's using the fins, so...
Well, the good news is your training partner's got a medal.
It's just, it's
But
so hard
I'm
to see.
still super sad for her because she's one of the strongest C1 women, and she's often lacking of success in her finals. And
Yeah, definitely one of the technically the best girls out there. So, and one of the nicest, and you always want to see her do well.
yeah, always smiling, always nice. I was racing with the Spanish when we were 14 years old. We had this exchange between Spain, France, Italy, and Germany. It was a really cool race for kids.
Well, we don't have any appeals in the top 3, so we do have our medalists for here. But Nuria Villarrubia completing her course. It's all fallen apart a bit.
It's a real shame for her. But great work to Jess Fox. That's 2 world championships back to back. So really impressive work from her and Mallory and Orion with her first world championship medal.
Well, we're not going to have that in the other classes because in the C1 men, well, that's over. Have we had a confirmation of the result?
I haven't seen anything.
It come up. I haven't heard anything from the producer yet.
Not yet.
In progress
And
still.
Jess is happy. Or not
Almost.
too happy. Just
Just in shock, I think, watching Nuria's run down there.
Well, she's speechless, and so are we.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we've just been drained from these last 2
it's just
races.
really frustrating when you have a really good paddler that doesn't make it through. The semi-final K1 men yesterday was really hard, watching the free check K1 men's not making it through, and as well as Michal Smolin not making it through, and the 2 Polacic brothers.
Well, we do have the official results come through. No penalties on there, no queries. Jessica Fox, by 5 seconds, I believe, she takes the gold medal from Mallory Franklin, takes the silver, and Oriane Ribot takes the bronze medal for France.
Yeah, definitely a good day for my training group.
So, Rob, you're a C specialist. What are your thoughts? Are they? You've seen some new moves. You've seen some good moves.
Well, obviously with Fabian and those switches, He's really kind of lifting that level, and maybe we're seeing the next evolution of C1, where you do need to switch. In the past, it's been a bit of a faux pas if you're going for the switch, or but we're seeing that they're getting the results now, and with Pressy as well, he's had some great results.
So is it the case of the athletes asking their coaches, how do I do it, or the coaches, I guess, from the last generation? Hey, we have a change. Is that official?
Yeah, we have the official results of the C1M, and Fabien Lefebvre is making history because he's just C1M world champion, just in front of Benjamin Safsek and third Anton Franz from Germany.
So it's
and he's about to race in a couple minutes now for his K1 finals.
Will they tell him?
Hey?
Will they tell him he's won?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'd want to know it. I think that'd be great energy to move into the K1 final. But he said to me a couple of years ago, when he was just starting his C1, I think I can be world champion in 2 years, and I kind of laughed. but I'm having to eat that back up now. He's just showing us what an incredible athlete he is.
And he likes to be a little bit controversial, but he's got his reasons. And
we'll have it flashed up on the screen in a couple of seconds.
Just making it like that, it's just nothing you can say back. You know? You're just like, this is amazing.
Poor old heart today, Nua. He's going away. Future champion.
Team Venezuela.
Oh, this kid charges so hard. I see him just running around the banks all year round at all the races.
On your screen, let's have some news. Confirmation, as Newis just mentioned, Fabien Lefebvre, world champion, USA. Benjamin Safsek, Slovenia, put down to second position. And Franz Anton is Germany's bronze medal. So that's, as you mentioned, is completely extraordinary. Lefebvre, world champion 2002, 2003. And he's just about, in the next 3 or 4 minutes, to be on the water of well. It could be a double-double. David Florence did the double last year. That was C1, C2. Could it be done in the K1, C1?
Well, if it's done in a K1, C1, that would be really impressive, because the K1 man is one of the hardest class in terms of
depth of field,
competitiveness. It's so tight.
Well, look at the action we have. A lot of surprises who hasn't made it, but as we mentioned, this are the 10 athletes that have made it. 6 French-born athletes. There were 8 French-born athletes in the semi-finals, so you seem to be completely dominating this.
Yeah.
Here is counting up.
I can't say much about that. I'm going to get in trouble with the French Federation. I mean, well, it's good we have the 3 official French boats in the final, and we have 3 other unofficial French paddlers in the final too.
So C1 world champion Fabien Lefebvre just about to go and see what he can do in the K1.
That's exciting.
Yeah, such a
little bit radical here.
Yeah,
but
it must give you a boost though, just to know you just become world champion, mate.
Oh, you'd have to think so. And here he is.
Didn't hear it announced on the overhead system. I wonder if the fans know.
So I think that was just a water touch there on gate 7, but we'll have to wait and see. So Lefebvre in and out, keeping the boat running. As we have Olympic champion Daniel Momenti coming into the commentary box.
Slightly caught in a boil on the exit of gate number 9, but I don't think he lost too much time there. Looking fast and smooth and clean so far.
Fabien Lefebvre is the world champion for C1, Daniel. If you've just missed that news, you might have done it with Daniel Momenti, the Olympic champion who is not racing for slight injury problems. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good now. Not sure I could race. The doctor don't let me, and I think a good decision. But it hurts because this course was really good, I think, for me.
Talk us through the run you're seeing in front of you.
He just picked up a penalty in gate 16 and was slightly low on gate 17. So I guess that in the K1 men class, this is gonna be hurting for Fabien. And picking up a 50, I'm not too sure where.
Well, they're getting you on the
on 19.
19, yes.
We'll have to double video judging to have the confirmation of it.
You know, it's just a world champion C1. You can pretend it will be too good in here. Well, I'm joking, of course. He was really, really, really good in here.
I wonder if he does know he's won the C1 as well. So Daniel, very briefly, what happened to you? You had a slight car bang, I gather.
Just the day before to came here, before the flight, a girl hit me behind by the car, and I got a classic whiplash. And I stayed a week off without training. Then I started training, but it was hurting too much and getting dizzy. And then we decided to don't race. I was pretty disappointed, but you know, this year is not next.
You don't want to mess up with your cervical.
Yeah, you know, it's a dangerous part of your body. We always at the limit. I know during the race I can really push more than I could and should. So we prefer to don't race. But I can watch.
Well, that's great. So he's caught up with you a few minutes and said, come and have a chat. So thank you very much for taking your time out and coming and having the best seat in the house.
Well, it's good to watch him here, and the next is my Italian partner, Giovanni De Gennaro. Here, the Russian guy didn't start really well with too much penalties.
He picked up already 2 penalties, so it's almost already over for him, unfortunately.
Well, he's 2.5 seconds down at the moment.
Which means he was faster than Fabien Lefebvre on the top section. So he could still have a really good bottom section and make up some time, but it's probably not going to be enough for any middle.
So Daniel, although you're not competing, obviously you can really. What are the major challenges, and where's the time to be made and lost?
Well, 7-8, all the other with a bit of rush, you know, they always get not the right water and they can lose time more than they get time. And as well after the 14, the 15, 16 session is not that easy as you could see. And
that was quick, wasn't it?
Here as well, 18, 19, it's a bit tricky. Sometimes, especially there in the 18, you need to be a bit slower to get the right moment, the right piece, you know, to push when it's the right time. And, you know, especially in the final,
That's a terrible run for Pavel, and he knows it is.
You know, especially in the final when you have too much rush or too much stress you need, you know, it's very hard to wait the right moment to push. But Lefebvre did pretty well, and he's one of his style, and this is really good call for you to have experience about it. So I wonder who will be really good again on the final.
Yeah, it looks like so far the K1M final, or the boys are doing way more mistakes than in the other classes.
Fabien Lefebvre is appealing something. We don't quite know what yet, so I wonder how may change things.
Or maybe that at 50, but.
Daniele, talk us about your compatriot.
Yeah, we saw the court before together. He's pretty focused. He knows what to do, and I think he want to show that he can really do a good run. In his arm, we watched yesterday from the semi-final, he can really make a 100 in the timing without any mistakes, and well, he's going pretty all right. He's a pretty strong guy, so this water is pretty good for him as well. And during the training, he was pretty good, smooth. He learned how to be light on the water, like here, exactly what he wanted to do. Never stop the boat. A bit too, yeah, a
little bit low, but.
Yeah.
Well, he's 3.4 seconds up at the moment.
But if we remember well, Pavel had a 4-second penalty, so he's slightly slower than the Russian guy, but the technical part is right now. And it would be really good if Giovanni could have a really good race, because he had a pretty rough season so far. In Prague he was not feeling great, so wishing him the best right now.
It's pretty good. In and out. Now is the time.
Seconds up so far.
Good. Pretty good.
Well, we're used to having you winning the World Championships, and clearly the Olympic medal, Olympic gold medal. Oh, that's going to cost him.
Stupid touch.
Yeah.
We saw the Slovak C1 touching gate 22 with their paddle, and Giovanni just did the same thing on gate 21, and that's going to cost him probably a lot. it's gonna cost him.
Well, clearly moves into provisional first place, but as you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you said he's capable of 100 seconds.
Well, yesterday the top paddler was doing about 100, and I was talking there on Skype, and we were watching and discussing a bit, and probably a really good run is 100, under 100, about 99 something. Of course, this goal is pretty tough, and the water changed a lot, but I'm sure someone can really do it also today.
And briefly, while we're waiting for the next competitor, how is Peter Kaiser?
It's all right. He started the training, and he will take another month on really easy water before the real training and the weight training. But he's really motivated. He wanna come back, and well, he was sorry to see me also out, not racing. But we know that next year is a bit more important for all of us.
So we see another French-born Thomas Bessinger racing for Argentina.
Yeah, Thomas has been racing for Argentina for a year. It's his second season, and he was already in the final in Prague last year. So it's good to see him again in the final, and he's got a really good style. Always, most of the time, like in the middle of the gate, classic, but always just doing a really big mistake here, I guess. But he can go fast. He's still in touch with Giovanni, but
This race in the final was pretty hard for all the K1 men, with always strange results, and I think also the Gennaro with that touch and that time that yesterday wasn't maybe not enough to go in the final can be really close for a medal, because it's really easy to make mistakes in this course, and especially with the pressure of a final, you know, it's make it really on the limit.
Have you been speaking to some of the big hitters? Didn't make it, Priskovic and Vic Prindes and the others. And what's their mood? Are they just really
well, they were disappointed, of course, and all of them, you know, with another run, they can really make really top, really good run, really good time. But you know, the semi-final was pretty hard, pretty tough, and sometimes they go a bit too close to the limit, and they pay for that.
Here we go, cracking run here. Let's see how it's going to go.
It's a good run for Thomas Bersanger. He had a good bottom section.
Well, he goes into first place, 2.62 seconds up.
That could be a medal. We saw that the finals is often nerve-wracking, and people are not always paddling their best, so it could be a medal.
As you can see, 102 was about 5th place yesterday. And today could be enough for a medal, so it's still pretty open. And sorry for Giovanni.
So will he go off and watch? Will he stay around here and watch the rest of the race? Giovanni, will he watch the race?
Oh yeah, sure.
Maciej Polacek, who's twice been on the podium in the Worlds, I believe.
Yeah, it's one of the. He's young, but he's really pedaling a lot in the senior team from years, and they have really good experience and really big biceps. As you can see, he's really strong, like all Poland team. They're pretty strong, and technically also you can see he's really fast.
He's going for a really radical style.
Oh,
Picked
very
up
well.
a touch on gate number 5.
Sure.
We'll have to watch that because I didn't see it. Losing a little bit of time in that gate number 9, I guess.
Well, he's still in touch there. So the 5th of the 10 finalists to go. Maciej Polacek, one of 4 brothers, 2 sisters, and a boat company.
Yeah, the Polacek family is a big part of the Polish team. They have like the brothers, sisters, cousins. There's always a few Polacek paddlers in the team. And that looked really fast.
Oh, there's another 2-second penalties.
It was about 1.5 seconds slower than Bersanger, but that was before his touch. Right now it's about 3 seconds slower. I don't think he can make it on the bottom course. And now it's definitely over for him to challenge the lead. It's probably a good thing for Giovanni though, because he might stay in the 2nd position. Or
Fast pure time goes into third place. Won't stay there. So he's 6 seconds of penalties certainly cost him quite a lot.
yeah, we see many mistakes in this K1M final, and it's a little bit like the semi-final. You were talking about the free Czech paddlers who did mistakes and went off.
I don't see the touch in game
No, I
number
don't
5.
think it touched.
Probably
So
they
that
did.
would
259 will be second now, so probably they will protest about this touch.
Yeah.
The video judge will say.
And next one is my teammate Seb Combo. He has 100% of success in World Championships, because last time he raced World Championships, it was in 2007, and he won it. So we were joking about it.
100% great. And he's even in the World Cups. He hasn't been for a while, but this year he seems to have done pretty well with the medal in Les
Yeah, he's paddling really well this year. It's really good because he was had a couple of years struggling and not making the team, and it's good to see him back.
Contrasting physique, Daniela, you're about the same size, but you're twice as wide.
Well, you know, we are all a bit different, and for example, I have maybe a bigger engine, you know, but sometimes it can be really smooth and really technically perfect to catch the right water faster than me with the guns, you know. So at the end, this is why we like slalom. It's going pretty well anyway.
Yeah, he
Saw him up on the split.
He was 2 seconds faster, and he's going for a forward move. Well executed if he can manage to be high in that gate 17.
Maciej Polacek is appealing one of his penalties, but that won't change the over result. So Sebastian Combo is looking like he's putting in a good result. Nearly 2 seconds up at this stage.
Lost a little bit of time on that middle section, but he's still 2 seconds ahead of Thomas Bersanger. Oh, taking out that penalty on gate 22.
Is that what they call final fever?
Still enough. Should be still enough.
See where he goes. He's going to be well inside.
And he is happy. Yes.
That's almost Molmenti-esque celebrating. That's not quite.
But he's not kissing his biceps.
I have a wife now. I'm kissing the camera now. Yeah.
So exciting stuff here. Newman, Daniele Molmente, Robin Jeffries still hovering in the background. He's done some great work in the C1. If you can stay with us a little bit longer, Daniele, that'd be great. We've got the last 4 competitors to go.
Well, it's a bit hotter outside, so it's pretty good. I want to see a big screen, high quality, HD.
We're just at the boat weighing, so we've got a great view of the athletes coming past. Look at that, listen. Well, listen, you don't hear anything, but there you go.
It's
Another French on the
really
water.
nice to see him happy.
So we do have a French medalist.
Yeah.
Well, 4 to go and 2 Frenchies left to go, and we have Frenchie in the lead, so my maths is playing up. Mathieu Biazizou.
Yeah, Mathieu and Seb has been working together this week. They did look at the course together, and they've been helping each other. So it would be really cool if Mathieu could do well as well. But he had a little bit of a mistake already. Technically, he's really good and can do some cool stuff. But I think that right now his nerves are like not holding on.
Well, he's still in touch though,
Still in
1.04
touch.
off the pace.
But you definitely lose some energy when you do such things.
But he's young, he's got 23 years old.
Yeah, 24 years old.
Below.
He'll try and turn his shoulder to the sit right there before he turns into the 16.
That was
Touching the
Bottom, yeah.
for the second time.
Use a lot the tail, yeah.
A little bit too
well,
extreme.
he's 2 seconds off. Well, that was quick.
Not sure what a touching there.
Yeah.
So far, we have nothing come through on the screen.
The pole was moving, but it could be
Could be the
water or
yeah. It's going all right.
Time to go for 102. As you can see on your screen, third place would be
Be close. We'll be
106. Well,
half of a second. Well, he was pretty fast in the last part.
Yeah, he had a really good bottom part because he had quite a few mistakes.
well, we have some. I mentioned we do have a French medalist. Sebastian Combo has just booked himself a guaranteed medal, but he's appealing.
Not yet. We have
Not yet,
Boris
three to
Neveu,
go, yeah.
Sebastian Schubert, and Lucien Delfour.
No, yeah.
I stand corrected. Apologies. Let's get. I feel a bit excited ahead of myself.
Yeah, 3 Frenchies
Well, with
in
a
a
time
row.
of 1 or 2, you know, we can really say that it could be really close for a medal. But we still have to see. The other French here, Nouveau, was pretty good this season, and he really want to show.
Isn't he training with Emily Fair?
Yep. They're staying a little bit away from the rest of the team, but their training group seems to work really well, and I think Boris is really solid in his mind, and I think he will have a good
He had a
final
good start to
round.
the season. He won in London with his super fins on his bed.
Oh, again.
Saving
he
the
saved it.
situation, it's probably even fast.
Well, 1.3
really good,
seconds
yeah.
up.
In the bad luck, he was pretty fast, so good for him. Sure, losing a bit of time here.
Getting caught up by the boiling water here.
Well, there's a bit of noise. Your compatriots are doing themselves proud.
Yeah, finals, everyone's always cheering. It's good, it's usually helping. And tied in gate 17.
So he is on the split. Well, he's 200ths of a second up at the moment.
Yeah,
That looked pretty fast too.
yeah, this is the slalom we like to see. They're all really close with different technique and different view of seeing the gates.
And that's probably fast because Seb Combo did pick up a penalty on the bottom section of
Here
the
we
course.
go. We're going to have a new leader.
Yeah, 101.61.
Well, so far it's France 1, 2, 3, and he even speaks English.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Be careful of Sebastian Schubert, ranking #1 this year, World Cup winner this year. He was really fit. He want to really show his name. He want to write something on the book of the champion.
So, as a former world champion, are memories flooding back now for you, or you just turn the page? Let's watch these.
Oh, well, it's fun to watch. What do you mean?
I mean, yourself as a former world champion. Are you full of memories about when you've won?
Oh, well, not really. Not really. I'm the one that did Monday after the race. Well, the Tuesday, Monday still hungover, but on Tuesday after the race, I start to think of the next race. But it's pretty, it's stay on the palmarès, you can write something really in the book of the history of the kayak. There's not many world champions. So to be a leader, to be a champion for a year, the ranking, we don't really care, to be honest, but a title is a title, Oh, come on.
Sebastian Schubert from Germany, last 2 years has won the overall rankings in the World Cups. Let's see how he goes today.
Was really tight on the upstream #5 and then did a big mistake on the up
Reflected
8.
he's 2
so
seconds off.
he can make up some time for sure. But keeping the inside here, Boris was a little bit.
Oh,
Good. Being given a 50
on the gate #5.
#5.
He was close, but not sure it was.
We will probably have to wait for the video judge for that one because it's maybe questionable.
Fabien Lefebvre, he appealed his 50, but that didn't come off, so he's confirmed with his provisional 8th place. We have Nevu, Combo, Biazizo, 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. 101.61 is the time to go for. So we need to keep a check on this because we have had a couple of things returned. No, it's not happening.
That's going to be another loss of time.
Well, let's see, even if he comes off, where would he be?
104 plus 50. Wow.
That wouldn't.
Wouldn't even put him in the
Change
top.
much.
No, so you do have two French medals.
That's a good day.
Same as last year. It's getting boring. In the K1 women last year, you had 2 medals.
Yeah, but we're changing classes. Everyone gets their share. That's not so good for us, I guess. No.
I'm talking about Nuria
Let's see.
picking up a silver medal last year and Emily Faye winning the gold this winter.
It would be pretty cool if we had 3. You
Well,
know,
it's
you start
possible.
to hope.
It's possible.
Sorry, Rob.
Lucien, the foot at the start.
Well, Lucien's a little bit French as well.
Born in France, now represents Australia.
the surprise of the world, but
Last year was absolutely gutted because he was doing well in the heats, and in the semi-final he had a 50-second penalty, and I think it took him months to get over that.
yeah. But today you have the chance to show he can do it. He can be on top of the world.
Be famous, so let's see how he
Pretty
goes.
good.
Well, he put forward some couple of cracking results last year.
That's a bit of the French style in his pedaling. Pretty smooth and going with the water, most in the biceps.
Stop this, Australians are gonna get offended. No, it's definitely.
Well, look, he's 4 seconds down. I think we're going to have a French 1, 2, 3.
Who knows? Lucien can be a little bit of an extraterrestrial on some of the moves, but 4 seconds, it's really
Yeah, it's a
hard
bit a lot.
to catch
Biazon is
him.
1 second behind, so 3 seconds to reach would be pretty hard for him, but it is slalom.
Well, let's just see where he's going. Bit of a lack of volume. Everyone wants to see him do his best. Let's see where he is on the split. Importantly,
he's
it's
not making up
3.6.
to the
Yeah, same timing.
He needs to make up 2.5 seconds to be in the bronze medal.
Pretty hard in the last 25 meters of the race, but they need to wait.
He has a really good finish sprint, but that's not gonna be enough, I guess.
Well, it's going to be close, I think. He's not going to win the gold. Let's see how he comes up.
I think Rob is convinced that this will be enough,
It's going to be really close. No.
but I'm sorry, it's 3 French is on the
French
podium.
domination
That's
at the
like,
World Championship.
wow. We saw history with Fabien winning the C1 and now 3 French K1 men on the podium.
Well,
I don't know how
we
it's
have
been
5
done.
French born in the first 5 places.
Yeah.
That's not relevant there, obviously, but
Yeah.
we have.
Don't bring up the controversy. Stop that, I'm gonna get in trouble.
We're here to add value. Well, that was actually extraordinary, wasn't it? It's, when was the last time we had 3 from the same nationality win a world championship? We had 3 Slovaks on the podium in the C1 men in let's say, it must be rare to have a complete world domination.
Well, I was probably not born last time it happened.
Let's have a look at the official results. Boris Nevu for la France, gold. Sébastien Combo pour la France, silver. Mathieu Bielzizot pour la France, bronze medal. Well done.
Yeah.
And that's really, really, really good.
Yeah,
Wow.
Once again, French school is leading the world, and it means something for sure. Even if the first 3 in the World Cup are all German, we can see at the World Championship the title, you know, it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Only 1 German in the final, 3 French in the final, and
No
3
checks
first
on the
position.
gun.
Yeah.
Daniele, we might say thank you very much. We'll give Rob back his position in a minute. Is there anything contentious coming? Oh yes, we
There's a
look.
stars, yeah, on Boris
There is a
Neveu.
star on Boris Nevu,
Uh-oh.
which means something is being contested, but he hasn't heard about it.
Well, in the worst case, if he's attached, will be 3rd. So anyway, 3 French on the lead. Really well done to French team. Congratulations. Lucky you, I was not competing though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we can always say that. You're the Olympic champion. You've been there. You've done it. You're a world champion. Thank you so much for coming in on short notice.
You're
That's
welcome.
really kind. If you can perhaps give the mic back to
Yeah.
Robin.
Enjoy the
And
rest of the race in the weekend.
Watch out for next year, Daniele will be angry. But Peter will be back too, and
Yeah.
it'll be exciting.
Barbara will be back at form, and
Yeah.
let's see. So we're going to stay with you a couple of minutes. Let's hope we can get the confirmation. Thank you so much, Daniele, coming in. Well, we didn't have you on the on the microphone, but what are your thoughts of that?
Oh, that was intense. I'm standing behind you guys, just tearing what's left of my hair out. No, that was great. It was a real shame for Lucian. Like, he had a good run there. Looked actually quite conservative for him. Normally he's throwing his head around, just getting his head in to the gates. But I really like the way he paddled and approached the whole race in semis and finals today. But again, congrats to Boris and Seb and Matthew. So great work, guys.
Well, I'd say we still have an asterisk against the provisional winner. We don't have any more information. I have the producer looking to wait on the line. We'll hopefully get your result. In the C1 men, we had the same situation, and the result took about 25 minutes to come through. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. The result was that Fabien Lefebvre made history. He was the double world champion in the K1s, and he's become the world champion of world in the C1s. Thank you very much for listening. We'll keep you updated. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.